I got out there, they showed me a lot of love. But Shreveport had the infrastructure already here. Like even the tax incentive was put.
Well, yeah. And so a lot of people have been talking about, man, he's here only because they gave him a cheap deal or something like that. The reality is there's more to that deal than that. Way more.
They can't see.
Break that down.
I'm spending $20 million this year anyway, in the same building that they're saying was the cheap building.
Right.
So find somebody else to spend $20 million.
Tony Yayo just popped up and lit a match under one of the wildest beefs in hip-hop, calling out Jay Prince and possibly exposing the biggest extortion game the industry's ever seen. Jay Prince, the mastermind behind Rap-A-Lot Records and a serious force in Houston, tried to run his infamous check-in play on 50 Cent. But instead of folding like others, 50 straight up flipped the script. He aired out the whole game, challenging Jay Prince to do something. What was once quiet tension between Houston's underworld influence and G-Unit's all-gas, no-brakes mentality just exploded. Now, it's not just rap beef, it's a full-blown street-level clash, but to understand how this storm started, we gotta roll it back. Jay Prince isn't just a name, he's a power move in human form. Founder of Rap-A-Lot and the silent don of Houston streets, he's been holding it down for decades. He doesn't need to shout. His name alone makes people stay in line. In H-Town, if an artist pulled up without checking in, they might just leave without their ice. Or worse. Now enter 50 Cent, never the one to bow down. From his early days, beefing with Ja Rule, Irv Gotti, and the rest of Murder Inc., 50 made it crystal clear, he doesn't do mob politics. G-Unit was built like a war squad, no checking in, no ring kissing, and definitely no paying for protection. That attitude clashed hard with Houston's rules, so when rumors started floating about 50 possibly relocating to H-Town, people knew something was about to go down. And it wasn't going to be quiet. If 50 Cent really touched down in H-Town without checking in with Jay Prince, that's not just disrespect, that's a full-blown power play. And guess what? He did it. What started as a long-distance Cold War turned into something way more serious. 50 was in New York, doing what he does best, talking slick and trolling the industry, while Jay Prince held it down in Houston like the city's silent boss. They tossed subliminal shots back and forth but never invaded each other's zones until 50 casually dropped a bomb on Twitter. I love New York, but I live in Houston now. I'll explain later. This wasn't about clout. 50 moved with a plan. New York taxes were eating his money alive, and Houston offered him everything he needed. Low taxes, wide space, and a rising hip-hop scene ready to blow. Plus, Branson Cognac needed a southern stronghold, and Houston's liquor market was on fire. He saw the opportunity, plain and simple. Plug into the culture, push the brand, and bring some big-time entertainment money to H-Town. But here's the catch. He didn't check in. And Jay Prince, he didn't take that lightly. Word is, Jay saw it as 50 trying to sit on the throne without showing respect. Allegedly, Jay Prince sent a few people to apply pressure. Some even claim he wanted 50 to pay up for local protection. But 50 wasn't having it. He made it clear. G-Unit rolls deep with their own crew, and they don't pay to play. Period. Things got heated fast. Rumors started flying that Jay Prince tried to hit 50 with a no-fly zone over Houston, basically saying, "You're not welcome here." That kind of power move might work on smaller names in the game. But this is 50 Cent we're talking about. But 50. Man, he turned the heat up on Jay Prince like it was reality TV. He hit Instagram with memes, slick captions, and low-key jabs that had folks glued to their screens. He clowned the whole check-in drama and made it loud and clear. He don't play that mob game. 50 dared Jay Prince to step to him, and he did it in front of everybody. Meanwhile, behind the scenes, things were getting messy. 50 had been putting major work into building a $20 million G-Unit film and TV studio right in Houston. This wasn't just business. It was about jobs, internships, and a new energy for the city. But out of nowhere, the whole project shifted to Shreveport, Louisiana. Officially, 50 said it was about better infrastructure. But come on, if you were paying attention, you know the real reason.
Stuck on stupid, right?
Yeah.
You're stuck on stupid and you're not using your powers or access to powers that you have. You're looking at it as a negative versus a positive. You know, we all know if you can tap into good people wherever you go.
Wherever, yeah.
But I mean, it's a blessing, really.
Real talk.
Houston's street politics were heating up, and 50 wasn't about to start playing chess with snakes. And here's where it all flipped. J. Prince may have tried to push 50 out, but the city welcomed him like royalty. In 2022, just a year after 50 touched down, Houston didn't just accept him, they celebrated him. The actual mayor, Sylvester Turner, handed 50 Cent a key to the city and officially named November 24th 50 Cent Day during the Thanksgiving Day parade. The crowd went crazy. Mayor Turner called him a philanthropist and entrepreneur, shouting out the way he supported high schoolers through his G-Unity program. 50 was posted up on that parade float like he'd been born and bred in H-Town, and he didn't stop there. Through his G-Unity Foundation, 50 started really giving back. Turkey drives, toy giveaways, school donations, the kind of stuff that actually touches the people. He didn't just move to the city, he became part of it. 50 wasn't just making noise, he was making moves. He linked up with the Houston Rockets, Texans, and Astros through his Sire Spirits brand and turned his business hustle into a citywide power play. In 2023 alone, he donated $850,000 worth of toys. Then in 2024, he helped raise $500,000 for the Houston Children's Charity, just by auctioning off 2 massive bottles of his Le Chemin du Roi champagne. The whole event pulled in a wild $6 million. Meanwhile, J. Prince was allegedly sitting back watching all this unfold, like a king watching someone else take over his throne. The man who used to run Houston from the shadows was now watching 50 Cent get celebrated in the spotlight. Then Tony Yayo stepped in, the most outspoken voice in G-Unit. In a Vlad TV interview, he finally laid it all out. The real reason G-Unit never played that check-in game. According to Yayo, G-Unit stayed militant on purpose. He said straight up, the whole check-in system is just a slick way to line up rappers for extortion. You check in, you pay up, or you risk getting robbed. That's the unspoken rule. J. Prince built his whole reputation on being the protector of artists in Houston. He crowned himself the unofficial king of the city and created this fake-friendly system called checking in. But let's keep it real. It sounds sweet until you realize it's just a fancy setup for getting in your pockets. Here's how it supposedly works. Artists pull up in Houston, they're expected to check in with J. Prince's people. Show respect, which really means run that money. They'll say it's for your safety, like they're going to make sure your chain comes back if something goes missing. But don't check in. That's when the real drama starts. Yayo even brought up Pop Smoke's situation as a warning. Pop Smoke's death was more than a tragedy, it was a warning.